how to be creative. This is a very unspoken topic. There's so many artists around the world that create magnificent pieces of art, poetry, music, movies, all sorts of different things, right? But nobody talks about how to be creative. I mean, maybe they do, and I don't know about it, but I haven't seen much. I've seen a few people talk about it, Rick Rubin, Pharrell, all these guys, but these are the things I've learned, and I'm very new to being an artist. Like, I do a little bit of photography, I write, maybe like I try rap and lyrics and all these different things, but I'm very new to it. But the key few things that I've learned are, you need to be open. You need to be completely open. The best pieces of art that I've made came to me in a flash of inspiration, right? It was, my mind was open and a stroke of inspiration, and in a minute I wrote everything down, and that was it. Whereas the ones that are not so good are the ones that I force out of myself. Like, I sit, I try to write, okay, I write, and then I take another piece next day and I write. It never works that way. The best pieces of writing that I've made came to me in a stroke of inspiration, a flash that I put together in that minute, and then I proofread and edited and did things, right? So what makes things come to you like that? What causes that stroke of inspiration? What brings that stuff to you? It comes down to being in touch with the unconscious, the collective unconscious, or the subconscious, the intuition, right? It's basically just, everything is already there. There is no such thing as unique art. We don't make anything. Everything that's always been there, everything new is just a variation of something that's already there. And all an artist does is maintain himself to be an open vessel, an empty cup into which the universe can pour its energy in that moment and use us as a vessel. So when I make art and when I get egotistical and I get arrogant, I'm like, oh, I'm such a great artist. Oh, I can do this. I'm a force of nature, and I think all these things. Instantly, I lose that touch. Instantly, I lose that like power. I lose that ability to do anything. And as soon as I humble myself, I'm like, hey, this is not me. The universe is the one doing it. The universe could be giving this to anybody. I'll give you a great example. Sometimes you have this business idea or movie idea or a name or something, right? And then you see like somebody else had it, somebody else stole my business idea around the world. Like, they didn't even know you. You never said this. Why did like 10 people start like the same brand with the same song name or the same aesthetic? It's because this stuff is there in the cosmos, in the universe, in the energies, and the universe puts it through to receivers, which is us, through when we are open, you know. So the greatest artist's job is to be open, so open, have no prejudice, nothing to like contain it, like, hey, I want this thing at this time. It's just like a state of emptiness and openness that allows the universe to give it. And when that happens, you just get magnificent pieces of art. I'm so proud of some of the pieces I've written, and those are all the pieces that I didn't write, but the ones that the universe gave to me. And then I proofread it and all. Of course, for me to be able to receive it and be able to do it, I've had to put years of reading and study and like familiarity of the concepts of like what I'm talking about. You know, I've never trained to be a writer, but I've journaled a lot and I've read a lot of stuff, and I've studied a lot of literature like psychology and philosophy and all these things. Never through books itself, through videos and lectures like Jordan Peterson and all these guys, but podcasts and all that. But I do read some books now, but it's all there internalized, and it's like a, like, you know, in video games and all, you have like a superpower like inside a vessel. It's just shaking there, and as soon as the energy from the universe comes, it just like bursts out, you know. And being open and being ready to receive in that humbleness is a big factor. The second big factor is a state of play. This is that you need to be really happy with your fucking life. Like, you can't sit and just be sad and depressed or angry and bitter, resentful, any of these things, and expect you to be a great artist. Yeah, I've had like great pieces of writing come out when I was extremely sad. You can convert energies like that, like really sad, intense, emotional, but it comes in those momentary things. Like, I've had like tremendously dark periods in my life, and all those energies I transmuted into my works, but at a way later stage. Nothing creative comes out I don't think at the moment when you're depressed, like, you see all these artists like Taylor Swift and all these people that go through heartbreaks and write great songs or whatever, right? I don't think these people write it during the heartbreak. Maybe they do, I don't know. But I think the energies get built up during that period, and as soon as they break out of it, it all comes together and they write it, because that's how it is for me as well. But that state of play, I've noticed that when I'm like in a very boring, mundane monotony of life type phase, nothing comes to me. I can't make anything work. But on the days when I was like really happy, enjoying life like a little kid, just reading book and like walking and like looking at the sky and admiring everything and just being grateful to the universe and God, and just happy to see my friends and family, and just very happy and in a good place. On those days when I read something and I just sit and it just comes. So I think like this is part of the reason why like you see like broke artists, really like art broke writers and filmmakers and all these people. The reason is because you can't focus on making money and be an artist. You really need like somebody to fund. Throughout history, every artist has like had like somebody fund their life so they could sit and make art. Because for art you need to just have that focus, which is of having no focus. It's really just sitting with nothing, just waiting to receive, but not waiting. Like you have to enjoy being in the moment, not wait for anything, not look forward to anything. It's just that complete balance, not waiting, not waiting. I don't know how to explain it other than you have to be very centered and you have to be very neutral. There can't be like extreme energies, and that is a state of flow. I think they call it flow state or play state, right? A very goofy energy. So that I think that humility, that openness, that state of play, these are the things that allows you to create art. And art can be anything, a marketing campaign, it can be architecture, it can be poetry, it can be anything. There's so many forms of art, even in the sciences, like maybe how you inject like a drug is done a certain way into the vein, but there could be like a flow in how which the person does it, like a methodical approach that you could develop. And like how people that work in factories, like they go through that process so many times, it's like it looks very aesthetic, right, when 100 people do it. The same thing might apply to when you take blood out of a syringe or anything, right? There is an art to the science and a science to the art always. And for the science, what you have to do is be very methodical and diligent and precise. And for art, what you have to do is be the straight opposite. Just flow, open, walk around, chill, life's good, wait for it type thing. So that's how you how to be creative, and that's how to be open to the intuition and everything. Stay balanced, stay in a state of flow, stay detached, stay aware, and just receive, just receive.